Hi everyone, Huda Mahdi here, ACM Tutor in the Games Development Department. So if you remember a few weeks ago, we talked about variables and how they can be global and local and public and private, different scopes. And then also what types they are. They can be an int, which is like integer, a number, or they can be a Boolean where they can be true or false. Or they can be string, which means that it's a text, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to do it more practical and follow up on that this time. So what we're going to do here is we'll have a look at this project that we talked about last time as well. And let's stop this now. Let's see. We're going to look at variables in the game engine Unity. You see here in the hierarchy, here, this is where all the game objects are. If you click on robot, you'll get this list here on the right side in the inspector, right? If you scroll down to patrol, this component here represents the waypoint system that we're using. It's a very simple one where the first one is not listed here, but the first one is actually just going to be taken from the robot's first initial position, which is this, right? Which is up here. And the second one, this starts from the second one, it will stop at this position, X and Y. And these are variables, which means that they are not set values. They can be changed here. We can change this. This is the visual representation of that point, of that position in the game world. So we have X and Y, right? So as you see, if I change this position here, these values will change. So let's see if we can add it to 2. No, let's make it, that is way too high up. Let's make it 0.5, let's say. And you will see here, the line here indicates the path that the robot will take. If we play the game, we'll see how the robot just starts floating upwards, right? And this is to indicate that it's going towards this new waypoint or this new position for those waypoints, right? By the way, this is the editor, which is why you see me shooting papers. They're not really papers, they're gizmos. But here in the game, you'll see it more clearly how they move around and that I'm shooting actual projectiles. So now we have changed the Y variable. Let's change it back. Let's put it back so it moves sanely. Right. There are other things as well. If we go down here to detect and fire script, so this is our own one, right? This is the one that we can find here. If we click back on robot, we will see here that only the bullet prefab has been listed as a variable that can be changed, right? If we click on this circle, we will see different, well, all kinds of objects that we can set here. But we do know that there are more. If we look here, there are more variables, right? Remember those? So the reason we only see the bullet prefab is because it's public. And the way Unity game engine works is that when it's public, it will show it, generally speaking, it will show it in the editor, and you can actually edit that. So this one here, private, let's make it public and see how that changes in the editor. Save, remember to save, and let's go back to Unity. So if we go to the script here, remember those? So there is more. The only more variables, I'd say. The only one that you see is the bullet prefab that can be changed in the editor. And that's because it has this public keyword. In Unity, the way Unity works is the public variables will be shown there, whereas the private ones will be hidden. You won't be able to edit them. And let's make this one public as an example. I'll show you a couple of ways of exposing these variables. So if we make bullet speed public and we go back to Unity, it will load and you see here bullet speed 7. Now this 7, it comes from the code, right? but there is nothing that tells you you can't change it. Let's make it, you know what? Let's do that while we're playing. You can even do that. And this is a really good way of tweaking. And let's see. Let's see, you have the speed bullet. Now, if we change it to 3, you'll see the speed of the bullet. Do you see how slow it is? So much slower. Whereas if we make it, let's say 15, there you go. That's more like it. Although we did lose anyway. Oh, yeah, that was a very speedy bullet. Right, so as you see, and then once you've stopped the game, it will revert back. So if you want to have a value that you really like, make sure to save it and then put it back here once you've stopped playing, because while you are in play mode and you change variables, it will revert back once you've stopped play mode. So change it before playing, or save it while playing and then change it after you played. All right? The other way of doing it is going back to the code and you write, let's say you still want it to be private in order to protect your code, but you mark it with a serialized field. Serialized field means, force it to be serializable, force it to be readable in the editor, let's say. And we go back here, it will still be private. We click on the robot to see what it has. And you see here, time since last fire, 0. And I would recommend that because you would not need to change your code. If something needs to be private, then it should be private. However, you can still expose it in the editor. So this is a cleaner and safer way of dealing with variables. Thank you for listening and tuning in, and see you on the next time.